Hi, my name is Luke. I'm the owner of this camper, of our camper. We like to call it the Ridge Runner. And in this video, we just want to give you a quick little rundown on what it might look like when you back into your campsite. You need to unhook, you need to set up and get ready to have some fun. So the first thing, you want to make sure that your campsite, or that ultimately your camper, will be level, and it'll just make for a much better experience. A lot of the campsites might be level, but we have been in one that's not, so we just want to show you that process just in case it isn't. So you can see I have a little level here in the front on the coupler, and it's two different dimensions. This one is front to back, and this is set with your trailer jack. This one is side to side, and there's a leveling wheel chock that we used to level this out. So you can see the bubble is on the passenger side of the vehicle. That means we need to put the leveling chock on the driver's side of the vehicle and either drive up or back on it. So let's go get that. This compartment is where everything you should need will reside. This is the leveling chock. So what you do, you take this, set it behind the wheel. I normally set it and back onto it, but you can also put it in the front of the wheel and drive up, whatever's more comfortable. In this process, it really helps to have a second person, one to watch the level while the other one's driving. So I'll let you guys watch the level, I'll get in the vehicle and we'll get a level. All right, yep, that's close enough. Like you said, you can get it kind of set. If you need to make some little adjustments, you can. But you want to get it about in the middle on the side to side. So once it's close, you take the other half, it's a little gray piece, because you put it on the opposite end of the tire. And what that is it makes sure that the tire won't go either direction, right? So this side is set. We're going to take our other two wheel chocks and move them to the other side. That way we know our camper's not going to go anywhere. Let's get it unhooked from the vehicle. I'm going to turn it off really quick. So first off, we can unhook the electrical. This is a breakaway cable and the two chains. All right, now we're going to set the jack down. There's a drop foot in the middle of this jack. You can pull the pin, drop it down to the last hole. There should be 4 holes sewn beneath. And make sure you leave the ball locked. When you jack the vehicle up with the camper, it takes the weight off of the spring bars, and that's what helps us take the spring bars off. These, what we call spring bars, So right now we're jacking up the vehicle as well as the camper. That feels about right. Let's come over here and take that clip off. If you can't move this pretty easy, just jack it up a little bit more. The higher you jack this off, the less pressure is going to be on the spring bar. Take this, you swing it out to the side. There's this little retaining clip right here. Pull that up, the top of the knuckle comes out, and there's a spring bar. So there's one. Gonna do the other side really quick. Now that your spring bars are off, you can lower the camper back down. A little bit more. Really just want to take it down low enough to stuck a little bit. Almost like the vehicle, I'm going to pull the vehicle forward a hair. You guys get to see a little extra just in case your coupler lock doesn't come up. It's going to be bound in here somewhere. So in my case, I just pulled up just enough to take a little pressure off your coupler lock. At this point, you just jack it up high enough. Take it off the vehicle. Now pull the vehicle away. Feel free to take the weight distribution hitch out of your vehicle. Just be really careful, it's really heavy. But yeah, you feel free to take that out if you want to put a bike rack in or whatever you may use it for. At this point, we're ready to level the front to back of the trailer, so we're going to go back to our level. Come look at this. Just waiting for this bubble as we lower camper. You can kind of see the bubble goes back to where it needs to be. What this tells us is we're pretty close on the left to right. We're right on the money front to back. So at this point we can set our stabilizer jacks down. Come back in here. Hopefully I can leave you my drill. If I don't need it for a personal reason, there's another tool you can hand crank it. But now we're going to go back to all four corners and hit the stabilizer jacks, or lower the stabilizer jacks down. These are not meant to pick the camper up by any means, it's just to take the bounce out. So when you lower it down, once it makes contact with the ground, it's probably pretty good. So just don't jack it up too high. All right. Now the stabilizers are down, the camper's level, You took the balance out, so now let's get our hookups. So hopefully you're at a site that has electric and a water hookup. If you have electric hookup, there's a surge protector in the same compartment. And you would hook this up to the campsite, right, to the electric post, and then you would hook the camper plug into this. So in my specific situation, just showing you how to do it, I'm not going to use this, but at a campsite, please use this. So first we're going to get our power cable. This goes here. We gotta line the prongs up. One of them has a little L shape. Twist it. You can turn that and lock it if you need to. In this case, I don't need to, just for what I'm showing you. And like I said, at this point, you would be hooking this up to your campsite. I'm just gonna hook it up to my house power. All right, you got your electric hookup. You can tell your light's on. Almost the light's on. This is what happens when you plug it in. Now our light's on, we know our rig has power. Next, we're gonna hook the water up. There's a hose in the same compartment. All the campgrounds like using a white hose. There's a white hose here. You'll notice on one end, there's a regulator. Just in case a campsite has really high water pressure, it's not gonna ruin any of the pipes in there. So this should be on. We normally keep this on, but this is gonna be the end that you put into your camper. Right beside the power, it's called a city water connection. Hook your water up. And then of course this end would go on the spigot at your campsite. So your power and your water normally is on post right about here. These are both the ends. So now you got your hookups, your camper's level, got your stabilizers down, so let's head inside. Pull the stairs down, lift up, bring the next one down. Sometimes this handle is one way or the other. You pick up this handle and you can move it to either side. At this point, we're going to take the slide out, and can you see this? This right switch, this right toggle switch is for the slide out. This is for your awning, but you just want to make sure your camper's level and you have power before you operate the slide out. Press and hold. You'll hear the sound change slightly when it's all the way out. You just want to make sure nothing's behind the slide out. And you want to make sure it's all going out together. All right, your slide out's out. This next one is for the awning. Go ahead and show you, same thing. All right, just while we're here, This is kind of like the control panel. This switch operates one light. This next switch operates your awning lights. This is your water heater, and this is your water pump. You won't need to turn on the water pump unless you don't have a hookup at your campsite. If we fill you up at our house, or if you fill it up at the campsite or at the campground, I should say, and you need water, then you would turn your water pump on. But if you're hooked up to the city water connection, you will not need to turn your water pump on. These are little gauges to let you know how full your tanks are. When you get it, your tanks should all be empty. You press and you see empty for black, empty for gray. And this is one of those things you want. This is where you monitor. So as you're using the facilities, as you're washing dishes or taking a shower or whatever it might be, you just want to monitor this gray tank and make sure it doesn't get too full. If it's over 2/3, just be very careful, and then you would look to get it dumped as soon as possible. So coming on in, turn a couple more lights on. An open shade, there's a little light on it, light in here. This is your dinette. If you need this space for sleeping space, this tabletop pops off. Both of those two bars pop off. The tabletop then bridges the gap, and your cushions you then put in the middle just to make that a continuous bed. The linens for that are in this cabinet right here, if you need that. This cabinet we like to use for pantry items, dry foods. There's a bin under there you can feel free to use. This is the Murphy bed. Just want to show you really quick. Or when you're ready to use this, you take the couch cushions off. There's a latch right here. You pull this latch and you can drop this down. The mattress comes down with it. So that's how that works. In the back, here's a fridge with the lock. Your bowls and cups, pots and pans are under here. These are your bunk beds, feel free to enjoy. And then your bathroom. One of the first things you're going to want to do at your campsite is, if you're planning on using the bathroom there, planning on using the toilet more specifically, there's a treatment pod. I don't see one right there, but it is here's one. It'll be in this little bag. It's a little orange pod. And what you want to do is, the toilet has a foot pedal all the way down, opens the flushing mechanism all the way to let your waste or water to go all the way in the bottom. If you push on the pedal halfway, it fills the toilet bowl up with water. So what you want to do is open it all the way, let water just run down in the bottom of the black tank for probably 15 seconds or so. Drop this pod in, and what it'll do is just help everything decompose and will help everything not to stick. So that's what you're going to want to do that before you start using it.